Now then, how you diddling? Excellent. Me too. Thank you very much for asking. Welcome to another episode of Dazed and Confused, my daily live video. Slightly different time to usual today due to the fact that I was out working, doing all my usual stuff that I do with my business, which is creating videos. So what's Dazed and Confused all about? It's answering your questions about social media, about video, trying to help you get on that content creation journey so that you can start making content for your brand, for your business, getting more people knowing what it is that you do, so that when we get out of all this crazy crap that we're going through at the moment, we're in a position where we actually have a brand and a business still, rather than having to go and find a job. God forbid. Anyway, so today's subject matter, we're going to be talking about collaborations, but most importantly, having fun, which is something that I've been working on recently, which is what got me thinking about talking to you guys about this. As always, I am Simon Scholes, founder and creative director of Perception Studios, the award-winning visual marketing agency. We're based in the UK, but we help brands and businesses across the globe create content that really helps them stand out on social media, but just generally as a brand and as a business in a different way to what anybody else might potentially be creating for them. So it could be documentary work, it could be cinemagraphs, 3D GIFs, all sorts of different things, video, animation, aerial, photography, all sorts of stuff that we work on. And then a few years ago, it became quite obvious to me that not every brand, not every business necessarily had the budget to spend on having that kind of thing created on a regular basis. But social media is all about being consistent and having regular content going out. So how could I help you get to a position where you could be doing that on a regular basis? And that's where the How to 9 Times Your Social Media process came from, which is a really simple little few steps that you can do to help take one piece of content and turn that piece of content into many pieces of content and post them out through the week across different social media channels, and do that week on week so you can stay consistent with the same message across all your social media, rather than confusing and scattergunning your message and having different messages on different platforms and making your audience confused, and even worse of all, confusing yourself when it comes to creating content. So that's what these podcasts, that's what these lives, that's what all this content is all about, is trying to help you get into that content journey, but making content work harder for you rather than creating everything specifically, because I know we don't all have time on our hands. Even though we're in this situation right now, you still may not have time on your hands. And so I want to help you take the time you do have and make it work better for you. So if you are live right now, if you joined us on the live, whatever platform it's on, Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram Live, say hello. Let me know that you're out there. Let me know that you're breathing, and ask any questions as well if you want to, about social media, about video. You could ask about collaboration and fun as well. And yeah, whatever, just let's just get chatting and see where the evening takes us. Hello quickly to the Untitled Society, and also Mike Randall as well, a friend of mine whose other half is looking to take on a social media journey, but they've just become parents as well, so congratulations to him. Anyway, right, collaboration is a huge key to trying to grow your social media channel, but collaboration will also help you grow an audience on that particular piece of content, because collaboration is basically a way that you work with somebody else, create a piece of content, and then that person will most likely share your content with their audience, as well as you sharing the content with your audience as well. So collaboration is a great way of growing your audience for free. All you've got to do is reach out to different people and collaborate. Now, a lot of people struggle with who they're going to collaborate with. Well, just take those dream people that you want to collaborate with. If you want to collaborate with me, you literally then just find out that person's contact details, whether it be another social media channel or an email address and what have you, and then just reach out and ask. That's how collaborations happen. And it could be somebody who's really big, or it could be somebody with the same size audience as you, or somebody with a slightly bigger audience than you. Just reach out and ask. When I was doing vlogging, which was my daily diary, I was reaching out to people who were doing the same thing as me around the globe and just going, look, fancy swapping clips, putting them into each other's daily vlogs, and that way your audience gets to know about me and my audience gets to know about you, and hopefully we kind of cross-pollinate a little bit and help each other grow our audiences. And loads of people did it with me. Some really big channels, like massive channels right now, who are doing YouTube as a living. I am not, I may add, but are doing YouTube as a living, were quite happy to have me collaborate with them, because that's just how people cross-pollinate. That's how you get new audiences to your content. So collaboration's a really great way for you to do this across all different formats of content. Whatever channel it might be on, it's a great way of doing it. But most importantly of all, and this is why I want to talk about having fun, recently, in fact, just 10 minutes ago, a video group that I've been part of, it's a group of musicians, voiceovers, media professionals, people who've worked in the video industry, people who have worked in radio, people who are voiceovers, people I've worked with, people I've not worked with, people I've used as voiceovers. A guy called Steve Dunbobbin started off a group for us all to just have a bit of fun and prove we're staying alert. When the stay alert thing came around, we're all there taking photographs of ourselves, staying alert and having a bit of fun with it. And then Steve wrote the lyrics to a song, which was a parody of Do They Know It's Christmas? And so it was called Do You Know What Day It Is? That one went out, did reasonably well. Then we did another one, which was 500 Miles. And then we've just released the most recent parody. Loads of work has gone into this from lots of different people. I cannot take credit for anything whatsoever. All I've done is help on the social media front. But it's up on YouTube. I will put a link to it in the description box once this live is all over. But it was so much fun. And all those different voiceovers have been part of this particular event. So when we give them the link to the video, which is on its own YouTube channel, all those people are going to go and watch it. And then all those people are going to take that link and share it with their audiences. So that is collaboration on a huge scale. There are probably 20, 30 different voiceovers throughout the entire video. That's a lot of different audience members potentially going to watch that content. Because don't forget, not everybody has the same audience as you do. Just because I create vlogs and just because my friend creates vlogs doesn't mean we have the same people watching our vlogs. So if we cross-pollinate with each other, then there's a chance that person's audience might like my content and vice versa. And I've had this happen a lot with me in the past. Like I say, I've done collaborations on my vlogs, but I've also had other people mention my content because they've enjoyed it or want to collaborate with me. And that has cross-pollinated and their audience has come over to me. And that's been done through a guy over in Slovakia who mentioned my content, and my channel just went ballistic because of it. George as well, a friend of mine, George Benson, he's a creator. We've done collaborations in the way that we've been in each other's content on a regular basis. Our audiences kind of cross-pollinated a little bit there as well. Just the collaboration can happen in all different formats. So find a way that you can collaborate on your social media content with somebody within your industry, or somebody that you just admire and you'd like to collaborate with. It doesn't have to necessarily be somebody of the same ilk, just somebody who might help you get more of an audience. For example, right now, I'm on StreamYard. I can have guests. So if you wanted to be a guest on my live, you could be. And then you could come on, talk about your business. The people who are watching my content right now on the live or on the replay or listening to the podcast or watching any of the short form videos that I create out of this will then get to know about you as a brand and as a business. And also you can get any of your questions answered as well. But that's how collaboration works. My audience gets to know you. Your audience gets to know me. And then hopefully they like each other and we can kind of amalgamate and become one great big audience and then move on to the next person that we'd love to collaborate with. So collaboration is a huge thing. Start doing more of it within your brand, within your business. Start doing it today. If there's anybody you want to collaborate with, just reach out to them, ask them if they'd be willing to collaborate and see what they have to say. They can only say no, can't they? That's the thing. They can only say no. So why not ask and see if somebody's willing to collaborate? If you're an exerciser, I don't know, reach out to Joe Wicks. You never know. The guy might, I mean, he's very busy at the moment, probably not, but he might do in the future. Say, yeah, let's do it. Let's do some content together. So you just never know. Anyway, hopefully that's helped you understand why I think collaboration is really important, but also having fun with it is really important. The song that we've just released, it was a laugh. We've had great fun putting it together. Loads of people have been on it. It's a great collaboration. Gives an opportunity for people to just take their mind off the current situation, but also there's a really good chance that those people could then be cross-pollinating each other's content when we start talking about each other on different social media platforms. Just think about a little bit outside the box rather than just necessarily this is one piece of content. Think further than that. Okay, there you go. Anyway, right, shall we move on to the questions? We're going to skip through a couple of questions this evening. And just if you've got any questions at all that you'd like to ask on social media, feel free to do so. And I'll answer as many as I possibly can do. Good evening to Miles, who's just joined me. Thank you very much for joining this evening, Miles. For those of you who are just fresh into the podcast and to the broadcast, I've been working today, had a really good day filming with a local client who I've done some video work for in the past, did some drone content, did some filming on site, good fun, and I'm looking forward to that piece of content going live probably a little bit later on next week, I reckon, once I finish doing the full edit. Anyway, right, questions. Let's have a look, see if anybody's asking anything on Instagram. Not right now. So these are a couple of questions that came in earlier. If you do have any questions at all, and feel free to drop them into the comments right now about social media, about video, and I'll do my best to answer as many of them as I possibly can. Okay, how to build business relationships from a Latin American country is what Carlos asks. How do I build a relationship from a Latin American country on business? Okay, so how do you build a business relationship with those people that you want to talk to? Well, you reach out to them and start talking to them. It all reels back to the same subject I come back to pretty much every single day. Who is your avatar? I don't have a huge amount of information about you, Carlos, but whatever business relationship that you're trying to build, you need to know who you're going to build it with. Once you know who you're going to build that business relationship with, that brand relationship with, then you can start talking to them. So whether you are looking to be an exercise professional and you are looking to create content that is based around exercise, you still need to know who your avatar is. Just the same as an accountancy firm needs to know who their avatar is. So sit down and find out who your ideal customer is, who it is you're making this content for, because then you can make the content specifically to that person, specifically to that group. So rather than talking to Bob, who's 57, you know for sure that the content you're creating is talking to Sarah, who's 25, just had a baby, and is stuck in COVID lockdown right now. Do you get what I'm saying? You've got to know who you're talking to, because that way you know where they are and also you know how to talk to them. Bob, who's 57 and an accountant, will most likely be on LinkedIn. Sarah, who's 25 and just had a baby, probably on Instagram, maybe TikTok, and potentially Pinterest as well, looking at some ideas for what she can get for the baby while she's currently sat in lockdown. So you can think around it that way, but you've got to know who you're going to talk to. That's how you start building a business relationship, Carlos. Know who you're going to talk to, know where they're hanging out on social media, then start talking to them there. And if there's anybody out there who you specifically really want to work with, who you want to do business with, then reach out to them and ask. They can only say no. I will say this over and over again. They can only say no. What's the worst that can happen? So reach out, have a chat with them. If they say no, fine. If they don't even respond, it doesn't matter. Just keep building your audience, keep asking other businesses, and then eventually that person might at some point in the future say yes. But you don't know unless you ask. So always make sure that you're asking. Okay, next question. Angus, what is the best strategy to grow an online presence? Okay, we've already covered point one. I'm not going to go over it again. Know who it is that you're going to be talking to. The next step for me, my best strategy for any brand and business is consistency. And because consistency is so important on social media, putting out content on a regular basis, and I don't mean regular as in one piece of content a month, which I've known some businesses doing, and that is such a bullshit approach. You need to be posting on a daily basis, multiple times if you possibly can on a daily basis. So That is consistent. And you've got to be doing that every single day. And this is where it becomes hard work, just like building a business actually is. Everybody assumes this type of thing, social media, is a magic pill, and that they'll put out one piece of content and then tomorrow they'll be an influencer. And the day after, some big brand will come along and pay them 30 grand and they don't need to work for the rest of the year because they've created one piece of content and be paid for it. That's not how it works. This is hard work. I am creating content every single day. I am giving value every single day. I am charging nothing for the advice that I give every single day on these live videos. Do you see me stopping working because suddenly I've become an influencer and had millions of people following my content and start subscribing to me and big brands wanting to spend money with me? Of course you don't, because it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't work like that. You've got to put in the hard work. You've got to be consistent with your content. And nobody said building a business was easy. And social media is part of that. And it is not easy. It is not going to happen fast. It's not going to happen quick. It's going to take hard work and consistency. So once you know who your avatar is, Angus, then you need to be consistent with your content. That's why I came up with the How to 9 Times Your Social Media process. Because so many people struggle with the consistency because have the time to be creating content. Time is the killer of everything. So if you don't have the time to be making content or putting content out because you don't have time to make it, then you're really on a hiding to nothing. So how do you overcome that? You make the content you've already got work harder for you. So for example, this piece of content right now, this live video that I'm putting together right now, I'm sat here chatting to you, answering your questions, talking about a subject matter. What will I do with this afterwards? I will download this piece of content. Then I will turn it into a podcast. I will take the audio off it, not do any editing, just create a new intro, edit the two bits together, put it out as a podcast. So that will then be a podcast for today. That will be an audio piece of content for today. But not only that, then I will edit off the piece. That's all about collaboration and having fun. That will be another piece of content that can go out today. Then I will have all these questions that I've answered, Carlos's question and yours, Angus, and I will edit those out as separate pieces of content. So I'll have those to go out as pieces of content. And that's just from the video. That's the main video itself. Then that's the podcast. And then that's the main piece of content out of the video, and then 2 questions. So that's 5 pieces of content before I even get into the fact that then I could get this transcribed, turn it into a blog. I could then also take out the niche bullet points from what I was talking about with collaboration and having fun and turn those into memes. So then they could go out on other channels. So then I end up with 9, 10, 11, 12 pieces of content that I can use on a daily basis, edited from this one live video. So that's how you make content work harder for you. That's how you make something like this work harder for your brand, for your business, just by simply thinking a little bit outside the box. I don't have the time. How do I make the time? I make what I've already got work harder for me. So if you've got a lot of content sat on your social media channels right now, talking about different subject matters within the area that you're a voice of authority, and they're all giving value. If they're selling, they need to sit there, do nothing. If they're giving value, though, all the way through, teaching people something, take those pieces of content and turn them into something else. If it's a blog, you can still turn it into a video. Speak to an agency like ours, and we can help with that. If it is already a video and you don't know how to edit it, again, speak to an agency like ours or anybody else that's local to you and get them to help you repurpose that content into more video content. Get them to take photos of you, socially distant, of course, and use those photos and turn them into memes using quotes out of the video from that particular day or that particular week or that particular month, whatever. Just start making the content you've got work harder for you. If they've got that video already, take the audio off it, turn it into a podcast. People love to listen to podcasts when they can, because right now we can kind of consume content in whatever fashion we want to consume it. But when we go back to being busy, being able to do stuff hands-free, absolutely perfect. So do it hands-free with a podcast, because then all they do is just press play on whatever podcast channel they've got, or say, Alexa, play the social media podcast. Hopefully you don't have an Alexa in the room, because if you do, it's maybe start to play my podcast. But whatever, just start consuming that content that way, that people will do it. So you've just got to make the content you've got work harder for you. Okay. Okay, we're having a look here at the moment. Question from Caroline. I'm working on putting together a promo vid for our current shared workspace, the Rural Hub, I think I know it, which we can edit the format to take forward to future workspaces, showing the surrounding area as well as office space. How long would you recommend a video is for a website and to circulate prospects? So it's a bit of a how long is a piece of string situation here, because if you can keep people compelled, it could be as long as you want it to be. However, 60 seconds for a website is about maximum. You don't want to go any longer, basically, than like a TV commercial would go. Shorter than that, even better. The most important thing, though, is that you capture their attention in the first 5 seconds. These videos I've been making for the local company that I've been working with, the health and safety videos, generally a little bit dull. So how do we capture their attention? We make them very cinematic, really visual. So what we've done is, because both their sites are very countryside based, we've used drone footage to capture the attention of the contractors who go in, so that they sit down and when the video starts to go, oh, hang on, this is different. This isn't your general day-to-day health and safety video. And that way then they're brought into it. So you have got to think of a 5-second way of drawing that audience in like that. That's why YouTube have the skip this ad in 5 seconds rule, because they know if you're not bought into the product, if you're not bought into the idea, you're more than likely going to drop straight back out again after 5 seconds. So those 5 seconds definitely need to be really capturing, really eye-catching. Also asking what kind of split around the surrounding area versus voiceover versus workspace. So the voiceover could run all the way through the entire thing. It depends on your script. Probably on a 60-second video, somebody talking for 60 seconds, maybe a bit too wordy. I would probably suggest getting somebody to help you write the script, somebody potentially who's worked in radio, maybe done some ad writing in the past, so that they can help you with some word economy. I don't know anybody who potentially has done that. But yeah, try and find somebody who could help you with script writing. Make sure that it's on point for what it is that you're trying to achieve, because it's very difficult to give an exact percentage basically of what you should be looking at. But definitely if it's a surrounding area and you wanted to show the ethos behind the business, and for those other potential sites, they're going to have the same ethos, definitely show the surrounding area and see what they can do for you. And finally, we'll be in touch. Awesome. Thank you very much, Caroline. Right. Okay. Let's have a quick look if we've got any questions anywhere else. Hello to Katie Lang, who's joined us on Instagram Live. And let's have a quick peek, see if we've got any more questions right now. We do not. And blimey, we have been going for nearly 25 minutes already. That's some going. Blimey, I can talk when I want to, can't I? Okay. Right. Well, as soon as that is 7:30, it is your Wednesday evening. I'm going to let you go and enjoy it. I'm going to let you go off and have some fun. I'm going to go and get myself prepared because I've got to go and give a keynote talk right now, pretty much about what I've just been chatting to you guys about as well. So I will disappear, but I will say right now, if you have any questions, whether you're watching right now on the live and you've not had a chance to ask it, or you're watching on the replay, or you're listening to the podcast, my contact details are scrolling across the screen right now, as always. But if you're listening on the podcast, they're in the description box below. Go and send me an email, simons@perceptionstudios.co.uk, and we can have a chat, answer your question either on the email or maybe book in a Skype call, or we can answer it on tomorrow's live broadcast, just like we did do with Carlos and Angus, because they watched on the replay. Okay, thank you very much, as always, for watching. That's really cool. And let's have a look. Here we go. Just Caroline saying thank you very much. You're very welcome. Have a great rest of your evening. Hopefully you've got some value out of this. Don't forget, I'm going to put a link to the recent collaboration I was part of in the comment section, in the description box below. And make sure you go and give it a click and check it out. Anyway, right, I'm going to disappear and go get myself sorted. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.